Welcome to Not Trevor's Tabletop. I'm Zach,
I'm Mac.
And I'm Pepper.
and today we are going and starting our top 80 games of all time with our numbers 80 through 71. So it's 30 games we're going to get to go through today, maybe, unless there's some crossover. Pepper is the only one that knows all three of the lists. We're going to have like a slideshow pretty much, and he's got all the information there on which games we've got. So he knows if there's crossovers or not. But he hasn't told me at least. Maybe he told
Rigged.
you.
Rigged.
So I don't know. We'll see what this year brings, if there's a lot of changes. I think we've already had a lot of new games over the last year and a half since we last did this. You go check out our prior years if you want to see
Yep.
kind of what our top 10 were. Oh, geez, choking. I'm talking too much already. Sorry.
I agree.
But yeah, we've got a giveaway going on alongside this, so go check that out. But pretty much go leave a comment down below what your 80 through 71 are. Which one of these is your favorite set of 10
I
games?
think
Yeah.
last year we said whose list was the best, and so I'd like to continue that because I think I won most of them.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go back to it. But
Uh-huh.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's gonna change. For me, I guess, did you guys do anything different or special this year in making the list? I went through Pub Meeple and I did not make any changes afterward. It's the first
Whoa.
time I've done that. I don't like giving up that control, so it might be geared towards kind of what I'm playing right now, maybe a little more, I'm thinking, but trying something different this year.
I also used Pub Meeple for the first time, and I did do some massaging of the rankings,
She changed
but
the whole thing.
yeah. But I think we got a good list this year.
Yeah, I like last year, prior years, used Pub Meeple as well. I think I was like the one that kind of used it in the past and didn't do too much changing. But this year, I noticed afterwards, I went back and looked at last year's list just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And then I looked at my new games this year, and I had like 15 missing. So some way with the filters or whatever I had on there, it must have missed some of them. So I had to kind of do a little more changes than I would have liked. I found out that was much harder adding them in there afterwards, but it takes a while to go through them. So I didn't really want to go through the whole process again. So
Yep.
kind of where I slotted those in might be a little off, but overall, still like
Yeah.
all my 80 games.
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
hope I
get to
got
our
all my
number
games
80.
in there. Hope I got all my games in there. I might be missing some, but at least Zach was the first to ever do that a few years back with Rajas. So it
Wow.
won't be as embarrassing. But I will lead us off here with number 80. This is I forget. I just did these and I don't know if it's new to the list. And that is Final Girl. This is a solo only game and it's based on horror movies as you are picking and choosing your final girl, picking and choosing the villain and the location that you're going to be fighting against and fighting in. That's one of my favorite things about this game is that you could just have so many options. I think they have like 3 or 4 kind of seasons of different not really the IPs of the movies. Like there's an Alien one that's obviously Ripley and the Xenomorph from Alien, but of course they can't use those titles. But I think I have the Thing and this base game. You have the Freddy Krueger one, and I also have the Alien one. It's just fun to pick and choose those things, mix them together, and it's a really difficult one to win. It's very comes very close if you are able to win. Otherwise, you can also lose very quickly.
Yeah, it's a good pick. You haven't played it before. I've played it a couple times, and yes, you. That is probably the one possible problem with this game is at least in the one I've played, you can sometimes get into a spot where you pretty much have lost almost immediately,
Yeah.
and there's really nothing you can do about it outside of maybe be like, I'm just gonna reset that and pretend that didn't happen, kind of thing. Which it's a solo game, so you're free to do that if you want,
Yeah.
unless you have integrity, of course.
Nice.
We
But
don't.
good pick. Uh, Yeah, my number 80. I think I'm next, Pepper.
Yep.
Is that true?
Yep.
I don't remember if it was on my list last year or not, and I think this year we played a lot of new games, like I said, but I feel like there's been maybe not so much getting back to old games that we love a lot. So I think my list this year was maybe heavily influenced by more games I want to get to that I maybe haven't played in a year or so. And this, I think, is one of those, and it is Glenmore 2. So I
Ooh.
can't remember if it was on my list last year or not.
It was
But
not. It finally dropped off of the year. So you can see in the bottom,
yeah,
it debuted at 6 the first year, and it's been steadily downhill.
yes, it has, and I think some of that is the less and less plays of it as it's gone along. But I really love the core system in this one of just going around this kind of what's it called, the ratchet mechanism or uh, rondelle of tiles where you pick one and add it, and then you're triggering of the tiles. And like most of the people that don't love playing it with me say, the scoring maybe isn't the most interesting thing in the world, which is unfortunate because I think the rest of the game is really, really solid. It's some really solid mechanisms, and I just wish maybe the scoring was a little bit different because it compares your totals of like these three or four different categories, and I can kind of just stay the same kind of throughout the whole game. It just feels not that interesting. So, uh, it's my top 80 still. I want to get back and play this one. It's got some modules that we still have yet to explore, and maybe those will add some additional, scoring things. I'm not
Still
100%.
haven't explored them. It's been 5 years.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, luckily, with this year we added another 10 games. Last year we did a top 70, so was able to get back on this list. I'm guessing last year it probably just barely missed it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This one I always put on my short list of like 150 games because I love that tile placement mechanism so much, but it never quite makes it.
All right. I guess I'm last to go. And my number
What do you
80.
think your theme is, Maggie? I gave him a theme
You didn't ask
oh,
for a theme for
about
me.
a month or so ago for you. I'm
Oh,
like, she wants this theme, I think.
pink.
It's not
That'd be,
pink,
well,
but
that'd be very stereotypical and quite sexist
Austin.
of him.
That's the only thing. Books.
you got, well, last year you kind of had like that bookie one.
Yeah.
What's
So
your
it
number
must
80
be.
game, Mac? That'll help you.
Western Legends. Is it?
Bravo!
It's Western.
I feel like you've been watching a lot of shows and movies with like the westerny kind of feel to them. And I'm like, I feel like she's just liking that vibe. Put that on there. Let's see if she can guess it. So you're stuck with Western theme whether you like it or not, Maggie.
You couldn't even make it a cowgirl. It had to be a cowboy.
That's the
It'll
man in
add-
black.
I could
Yeah.
draw in some hair. I'll draw in some hair.
Okay, okay. My horse also needs to have some pizzazz to it. That one looks like it's starving.
Wow. Starving. What are you
Because,
talking about? The one on the post there?
because that has horns. That is definitely
No,
not a
that's
horse.
well, an old horse.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, Western Legends is my
Barely on the list. Wow.
barely on the list, but I feel like it's hard because it's a game that we played so much so early on in like the collection building that like the sandbox box of it is like kind of broken-ish, I think, because I kind of just go around and kind of game the system and kind of have an idea of like the best way to go about it. There is some luck involved, but um it's good. We have to play the Blood Money expansion for it, and I think that would probably help a bunch. But I still just love like getting your poker cards, going to fight a bandit, like the cards, the way they interact, and then just kind of the playing with like the guns and horses and gold nuggets and all of that, and just kind of going around the saloon and rustling cattle and the bank and all of these things. So there's lots to do with it. It's super interesting and kind of a unique game in and of itself. I just don't find us going to it very often, just probably because we gamed so much so early on. But I wasn't sure where to put it, but I was like, it has to be on the list. It needs to be on the list. And this is just where it ended up because I think that factor of how badly I want to play it played into it. And so it was kind of like, I do want to play it, but not as badly as I want to play some of these other games. So,
Yeah. So give
It
it the
still made
bare
the
minimum.
list
because it deserves to be in your collection. If you're going to have a collection of 80 games, I would say Western Legends is one to have in it. So,
because you like Western themes.
yep,
Your favorite theme.
knows me so well.
You've been watching all those Western
Name
shows.
one.
Yellowstone.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
There we go.
I feel like you always have these on, and they're these guys that look like they're in hats and got guns, probably gonna do a duel.
No, no.
And that was Suits, Zach. My number 79 is also one that's been around in our collection for a while, and it almost didn't make my list until I was making a list my own, but then I just did the pub meeple, and then it did barely sneak on, and that is Ethnos. This one I still feel bad. I don't know what happened that second year that I did not
So I
have
think
on
that
the list.
it was you first, Pepper.
Oh, I intentionally left it on the list, off the list. I am sure I did not forget. I just did not respect the game, clearly, because this one is a classic. This is another one that should be in everyone's collections. There is a couple new additions past this one, but the newest one looks really nice. I've not played it. Do you have a copy of second edition?
No.
Okay,
The one with the pandas? No.
yes. That one looks really nice, but I don't know if we will ever replace it. But just this game as it is, I love it as you're collecting cards very slowly. Like that could be a nitpick. Very slowly pick up one card, pick up one card, pick up one card, play a set, and lose all those extra cards. But for some reason, it doesn't bother me in this one where it feels like it should. But getting all the variable types of characters of types of cards, each one scoring and doing different things on the map. It's just a really cool game. Another one that's just fun to pick and choose what you have in each one. A classic.
Yeah, I agree. And somehow, even though it's kind of got a clash in its board and its pieces there that you can see in the card artwork,
Oh,
which I love the card artwork,
yeah.
but then the rest of it doesn't necessarily fully tie to that.
Hot mess.
But yeah, it's unfortunate that this one didn't get like an expansion with like extra things that are
Yeah.
groups. I'm
Mhm.
totally blanking
Factions.
factions. Because I think that would have been great for this one.
Yeah.
Made for that. But now we've got new additions. So that is a good pick, Pepper. We may see it later on. But for my number 79, it is one where you could maybe both like it and not like it until you've actually played it. Once you play it, then you'll know. That is
Hmm.
Cat in the Box.
Wow.
I was trying to do the Schrodinger cat
Wow.
thing.
Wow.
Clever.
I was like, oh, I hope that's actually how it's worded, but I
Yeah.
couldn't remember. But yeah, this one is a lot of fun. It looked, brand new to the list. I would have thought maybe it would have made it last year. I forgot, must have forgotten it. But in our Not Your Average board game tournament last year, this was one of the games that was in the tournament. And I think that was the most recent time I played it. And I just fell in love with the game because I'm like, this is just so unique. It works so well. And somehow we were able to teach new people it, even though I think some of them might not have even played like trick taking games necessarily before. And that's already a hurdle that you have to get over with this. So if you don't play trick taking games, first you have to understand that, I think. But then this has no suits. Typically they would. And yeah, just that whole mechanism. I just really love it. I love it more for the puzzle of trying not to cause a paradox. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Versus really scoring. The scoring is another one where the scoring is not the greatest thing in the world. Even though I had like an amazing score during the tournament because I got like I think all of them but one connected and I got my bid right. So I pretty much had the win because it's only 3 rounds. It's also a weird amount of rounds, but yeah, if you love trick taking games, I highly recommend trying this one if you have not. Even though the scoring's kind of a little weird, I think the trick taking part of it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I think I will be the only one that has this on the list.
It might be
I
my favorite trick taking game. So there's that.
That doesn't say a whole lot, I think.
Wow. You don't like
And
Fox in the Forest,
it's not
Pepper?
going to be on his list.
It could have been. But it's not.
Wasn't on the short list.
Nice. All right. Well, my 79 does have something to do with like history, I guess, for the Western theme. So how's that? I am kind of upset because we don't actually have a physical copy here. It's with Jesse in stupid Florida, and that is Trekking Through History.
You don't have a copy of this. I thought you
Don't you have it, and then Zach and Carson have it,
your
so
brother.
you don't need a third copy. But it's a bummer because I don't get to play it, and I always forget to ask them to bring it. So,
Yeah. Luckily, though, this is one. Speaking of our tournament, this is one. It's people's choice this year. This is one that they selected.
oh really?
It is.
Right.
So we will get to play
Because
it.
I'm BGA, I need to practice.
I don't think it is,
I think the
unfortunately.
other ones are. The other
Okay.
trekking, or at least one of them, but not this one. Dang.
Ah. Well, I really enjoy this game. I like how the cards come together, like how you're placing them in the chronological order. It's like grown up Racco
Racco.
essentially. And so I liked Racco growing up, so it makes sense that this would be something that I would like. I added it to the list here because I've just been thinking about it. I enjoy how like the time works. I enjoy taking my time, getting my cards in like a perfect order. Like it's so satisfying to like do that and then while also trying to get like all of the special gems and stuff that come with it. I'm usually like the last person, or I try to be like the last person around the time warp thing, and just kind of watching to see like what's left and how, what cards are going to come out that I can actually use, kind of a thing. And so it's just really interesting. It's simple, straightforward, but it's just one that I enjoy.
Yeah,
The production value is top notch too.
That's true.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Ooh boy. And my next one is I guess we've had some brand new to the list already. So I'm last here because this wasn't on your list. The other one that you mentioned that I already forgot what it was, Zach, has not been on your list. But this
Uh,
one has never been. Oh, Final Girl was never on my list either. What am I saying? But this is a very new game. I played it this year, and I was tempted to put it all the way up at seventh place because of its name. This is Flip 7. It would never debut that high. It's not that good, but it is good. It's a
It couldn't
pushy
even make
theme.
77.
It couldn't quite get up one more spot. Like I said, this is if it was up to me, I would have. But this is Pub Meeple, so I'm very angry with this list for many reasons. But this one, push your luck, and you're just drawing. You can see you have different numbered cards in that middle image there, numbers 0 through 12, and you have an equal amount of each card equal to its value. So there's 12 12s, 10 10s, and so on, except the 0. There is 1 0. There's also multiplier cards on the left and just pure pluses that don't count towards that because if you get the same number twice, so you do it turn by turn, go around the table, each person adds a card or freezes. And if you add a card that you've already had, so a second 10, then you bust and you lose all your points that you were building up there. You have a little modifier cards on the right there. A second chance card pretty much gives you a second life. So if you do match up and you do bust, you get to keep going. Or a flip 3, you can possibly flip 3 to yourself to get 3 more cards, or try to bust someone else, making them flip 3 cards. Or possibly a freeze card, which you can freeze another person. And I think it's like a race to 200 points. So if someone's right there, you can freeze them before they can gain any points. A lot of cool things here. I think you'd probably be helped by counting cards, as the deck is not shuffled each round. So knowing what's left. I tried it a couple games, but it's just too much to keep track of. So I just like to play this, just kind of feeling it out, which may be to the worst play that I could play, but I like it.
Yeah, I think this one's very popular right now, or has been for a little bit. Might have even come out like last Gen Con or something
I
already,
have never
which
played
is
this game.
insane to think about. But this is on Board Game Arena as
Mhm.
well. But yeah, it's been, I think, was it nominated for Spiel?
I think so. I think
But it
so.
did not win, right?
I don't think. I do not think so. I
What
think
was it?
Might like this. She likes Port Royal. That's a little bit of
It's
push your
true. It
luck.
is kind of like that. She would love this. She would love this game.
Yeah,
This would be 7-4.
I think so.
But yes, good pick, Pepper. And my number 78 is one that I don't know. I feel like this one's maybe all over the place for me. It could, when I'm playing it, maybe be higher up on my list. When I haven't played it in a while, it could go down a little bit and then eventually crave it some more. I think we've maybe played a couple times recently. It's in the T series of games, and that is Teotihuacan,
Oh boy.
City of something,
City of the
City of
Gods.
City of
Gods.
Gods. Yeah, this one is one that we don't play a ton, but we've actually probably played more than I would think.
Yeah.
Which is weird because you don't always love heavy games, and when I say we've played it, I mean you and me, Michaela. And as I played it more and more, it just kind of grows on me.
Three times last year. Three
I
times.
mean, that's pretty good. I mean, it's probably more than most of the games on my list here. And yeah, every time I like it a little bit more. I feel like this is one that usually these style of games where there's a lot going on, there's things that you won't ever explore, or I feel like I'm just too afraid to explore. This one, I think I've tried exploring different things because they all seem like approachable.
Lies. You go for the pyramid every time.
Well, it's just a fun thing to build up.
Okay.
I don't even know that that is the best thing to do.
I
You
feel
always
like
go
we
for the
I feel
death
like we
track
didn't.
or whatever it is, not the death track, the
Okay.
buildings.
It's a
Okay.
fast way to
Buildings are
points.
good. Buildings are good.
But yeah, I think all of it is really solid. I always forget until we play it again how like hard it is to like pay
Oh,
take actions and stuff. Sometimes those resources are very tight. Other times you're just flooded with resources if you get a bunch of dice on the same action and then can smash a lot of resources. But I think this one's on Board Game Arena. I should maybe play it a couple times on there too, just to keep it fresh in my mind because it is a solid game, and
it's
I
a
think this
lot
one
to
is
learn
in the
once you
top
get it.
100 of Board Game Geek, which
Oh,
it probably deserves to be there.
Yeah. Hmm. Nice.
nice pick.
It sounds negative.
I
I would
I
say it probably deserves to be there, but it does. I think.
I would say it's a top 100. I didn't put it in my top 80 this year. I threw it out.
Wow, she plays it 3 times and she's like, "This is broken." I just whoop it.
No, I never win
I
the.
hate the pyramid.
No, I think the last game we played, I just kind of was like overwhelmed and possibly like because we put in those extra where you mix up the order of the whatever.
That's to keep it fresh.
You know, it's to keep it fresh, but it did not work well, and I was frustrated, and I never go
It,
for
it
the
did.
pyramid, so then it's just like, I don't know.
It did seem like the order we had, and just
I need
was
this
like,
to get this.
right, you had to. It was a couple things like that where it was the total opposite order of what you would have wanted, so you had to go around the whole board. Which, yeah.
It was disastrous, but
Mhm.
it's a good game. I just some of these other games are ones that I want to play more than I want to play that one
Okay.
right now. So my number 78, there's a good chance I'm going to say this wrong, but we're going to go for it, and it
Yeah,
is
to a con.
Tir Na Nog, I think is how you say it.
Ooh.
So we played this one, we learned this one last year. And I think it's just really different, unique, I think, from everything else that we kind of have. I mean, there are elements that are very similar, but essentially you get kind of like these little tokens and there's kind of a tableau of cards laid out and you place it between two cards and then once everybody's placed you go and pick up one of the two cards if both of them are remaining, otherwise you're stuck with the lasting one, and then they come in different colors and numbers, and in front of you you use those cards to kind of build out to meet certain goals for each row, and this just got a really unique it really is just like building the tableau in front of you. Like, how can you do set collection or whatever the scoring card requires of you? Like, how can you build this out using the cards out there? And then they add in this unique part where it's like you can change the number, you can change the type of the card depending on the other cards because the card itself has like a special ability sometimes. So it kind of brings in like a lot of stuff with being just pretty simple in action of what you're doing. So I've really enjoyed our playthroughs of this, and I really love the card picking mechanism. So it's just an all-out like great game. I think.
Yeah, I gotta play this one sometime. That's definitely on me to play sometime in the next decade.
There you go.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah, stick around. There may be more words about this one at a different time. You might have to subscribe to watch our future videos.
Yes. My next one is we finally discovered it after it fell off the list years and years ago. And that is Return to Dark Tower. Debuted at a 16. And I think I just played it. I liked it. But soloing this game was a lot harder to do than I anticipated. The gameplay's easy, but it's a big table hog, especially with the expansions. But the expansions add really cool stuff, and I'm like, I want that stuff in there. I want the colored skulls. I want the new buildings. I'm like, but that's just more stuff to manage. Put more on this corner, this corner, this corner of the board. I know all those effects. I'm like, I think it's just a little better at more players. So it kind of fell off the list for years, and I don't think I even played it since last year. So I think it's just been sitting here. We just needed to get to 80 games to actually uncover it. And this is one that I think, like a lot of games, that surprised me when I was doing Pub Meeple. There's just certain games that I do want to play more, and I think that those just moved up the list versus some games that maybe I do play, but just am not as excited about. So this one is one that I'm gonna have to play hopefully a lot more soon.
There we go.
Nice.
Return to Dark Tower, and you return to it.
Back.
Well, I'm returning to an old game as well. I don't know how many years this one's been on my list, but it's one that I feel like I should be playing more often. It just doesn't get played. I think others like it as well, so it is kind of a strange one. And if we do Card Sharks theme again for the Notch Hours board game tournament, I think this one would make it in that. I don't think it did the original one, but it definitely deserved to be. And that is Dominion.
Ooh,
Good pick.
good game.
No, this one has been on my list for a while. I couldn't remember if it had actually stayed on there or not. But yes,
Barely.
it's fallen now. I think we probably haven't played it in a while, so that's probably why it kind of continues to fall. But it's such a solid game, even after all these new deck builder games that have been out there. I think this one's just still so pure, works so well, and I don't know. You could argue it hasn't been topped. I don't think I could argue against someone that would be like, "Oh, this is still the best one or my favorite one." Don't think you can argue against that because it's probably the cleanest one out there. Like
Mhm.
usually other ones will have some other thing in the game that's, and maybe deck building's just part of the game. So, yeah, this one's just pure play your cards, do your actions, buy more cards, try to get the most points at the end.
Yeah.
It's just so pure, so quick, and yeah, a lot of fun.
There
Yeah.
we go. That's a good pick. I like that one. All right, my
Do you like
number.
it so much that it's on yours?
They will have to subscribe and see if it comes up in another video. All right, my number is 77. A spoiler alert, the rest, pretty much, except for one maybe, the rest of my top 70 or 80 is this section is all new. All new games.
I was gonna say all the rest of the top 80. I'm like, wow, you really got to work hard to get in. Considering we only had 70 last year.
We played 70 already this year though, so I would have had 140 new, well,
No,
yeah.
I was just saying. I thought you were saying I had no brand new ones,
Mhm.
and we only had 70 last year. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Look, I didn't just bloat the top of the list with new ones because I needed some. I did like Teotihuacan. Others were like thrown out because I decided that these games
They
deserve
suck.
to be here instead. Now, there is a newness factor. I will admit to that fully. So they might be here next year. They might be gone next year. I don't know. We'll see.
I have that problem myself.
Yeah. Well, it happens. But my number 77 is Middle Ages.
And this is coming from someone who claimed to hate it.
I don't think I ever claimed to hate it, but I do. It's up here though. It's not like a on the scene, like coming in hot one,
Hmm.
because I am trepidatious about it, and I like playing it on BGA because it does all the scoring for you, and I learned it on BGA. So I feel like when we play a physical copy, I'm just really like, what's happening? I don't know what scores. I don't understand how this works. I usually just grab a tile and BGA does it for me. So I think that's kind of hurt me playing it physically because I'm just like, what goes on now? Because you have to do it all by your brain, and she doesn't know what's happening. So all that being said, though, I do truly adore the tile picking. It's very Kingdomino-esque. And I so enjoy like the different types of buildings there are, how they kind of stack together. It's so satisfying. Especially like if you get the fortress walls and somebody else grabs like the soldier one and you're like, haha, no, it can't touch me, go to someone else. Like that's always great. And the production value on this is super stellar. So between that and when you get all the coinage for laying a new tile, super satisfying when I think and remember that that's what's going to happen. But it's a solid
Dopamine
game.
hits the points.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can't imagine in person just being like, okay, now here's 12, 18, 20 points.
Exactly. I'm like, which ones match up? I don't know.
Yeah. I think this one is one of the few that maybe has a chance to be a new one that's going to be a three-way crossover, but we'll see.
Oh boy.
See, we'll see. My next one, it's the second one in this section of mine that has the word flip in the title. The
Oh.
second of five. Um,
And it
and
goes with my theme?
this is not.
Oh.
I wish I had played that. This is Captain Flip, another nominee for an award. I'm just all about the awards season here of years and years past. Captain Flip, very approachable game, very quick game, definitely a family weight game, and just so simple. And I think I'm probably my taste can gear the lightest of us. I think definitely not the heaviest. I think that would be Zach. I think Mac
Hmm.
is right in the middle. She can go. Mac can go both ways. But I definitely I think I can go the lightest. And this one, you draw a tile. There's a bunch of different types of tiles,
Hmm.
and each of them has a unique effect, and you place them out onto your ship board. Multiple different ship boards. I've only played this on Board Game Arena. I think it does a really good job there. I think it would be equally quick and equally fun in person. Maybe a little better because you can flip the tile in person because you can choose whether you want it as the side facing up or if you want to risk it, flip it, maybe get a worse character for yourself. And just kind of laying them on your board. Some effects, each effect has its moments where it can shine, whether it's getting you a lot of coins or maybe moving things around on your board, or it has to be on the top of a column. A lot of cool things packed into such an approachable small game.
Yeah, you haven't played this one. I think this could be another one you might like.
It's one
And
I'm interested in based on the theme alone.
yeah, I liked it enough. It did not make my list, but it's maybe just a tad light for me, but it's quick enough that I would play it.
Yeah, I have that. What is he? Scallywag. What is that character's name again? I forget what he is. But I have never gotten all five, one in each column for those
Oh, that
25
guy.
points. But I really want to get it someday.
I know it seems like it should be easier than it is, but unfortunately difficult. But with mine, I will actually stay in the later games, and this one might have been on my list at one point. I don't think it has been the last year or two, but it is a flip and right game that I've actually haven't played in a while, and I think it was just seeing it in the pub Maple. I'm like, I'm kind of feeling that, wanting to play that game, and there's probably a couple other games that we have that are similar to it and probably give a similar vibe. So who knows? But I don't know. There's something fun and simple about this one, and it is owl and egg.
Did you speak English? Oh.
Silver and gold. Uh,
This guy with the lines
oh,
today.
it's never been on my list, and this is one that I've actually played probably every year we've made this list, or I at least played it before that. So yeah, I guess this year I was just really feeling like wanting to play this one. It's we recently played Rivages. How do you say that? I think that maybe
Revolve.
is a little similar,
Hmm.
right, Pepper? You have that one.
Yeah, I played that. I think I've only played that one
A
once.
bigger version of this, I would say.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is kind of the simpler version. I think it's a lot of fun. You know what shapes are possibly available, and then one is taken out each time randomly. And yeah, it's just a very simple game where you're crossing spaces off, trying to fill in your maps with X's. And yeah, I think it's a really fun little game.
Yeah, yeah, that's also in stupid Florida. So,
Right there.
hmm. Got
All the
to you,
buried
Zach.
treasure is.
Well, I'm staying on theme with you, Zach, because this is a game that's been in our collection. I have it as I it might have been in one of my very first lists, but I don't have record of them, so I wasn't sure. But it is an oldie for us, and that is Jaipur or Jaipur. I'm not sure how you say it, but yeah, and that's the exact copy we have. We have like the old version copy, and I remember when we found it at Barnes and Noble, I was super excited. And say what you will about this game, but she's an oldie, she's a goodie. Like it might be preconceived how the outcome would be based on the cards and like how they're shuffled or whatever, how they come out. So there could be some of that, but I still think it's super interesting to at least try and get camels or trying to get like the big five turn-ins or getting those like group tokens or whatever so you can get
Yep.
like points that way. I really love like the you can only take as many as you drop off or so many camels and it clears like that whole like thing. I don't really love like getting into like my opponent's brain to see what they're gonna do, but this one kind of like boils it down. So it's like, well, they either play a card or they take a card, and if they can't take a card, then they're gonna have to play a card. And so just really kind of how that timing works out. I don't. It's simple. You play 3 rounds. I just really like how it works, even if it is kind of just predetermined and whatever. But the fun of getting there, I think, is really worth it. And it's a two-player game that I really enjoy, and I'm glad we have in our collection. So, Jibe here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Predetermined only when you lose. It's skill if you win.
Exactly. And
exactly.
I normally win.
Yeah, I've got a lunch with a coworker, and this is one that I want to play with her at some point, but haven't played it recently enough to remember how the rules are 100%.
Yeah.
My number 75, it would not be a nacho average tabletop list without me adding more games than are allowed. But I obviously allow it for myself, especially when it is a series or a universe or an Oniverse of games. And that is the Oniverse of games, starting with Onirum and spawning so many other games. I think there's like seven, six, seven, eight of them. Haven't actually played them all, but I have played these ones and I do like these ones quite a bit. I like the look of them a lot, and they are primarily solo games, and they take little regular things that you've seen, like Nautillion is just a roll and move game, which I know a lot of people don't like that mechanism in modern board games, but they put a little twist on it and actually have each of these has a bunch of expansions baked into the box, varying amounts. Some will have like two or three, some will have like five different variants that you can play with, which I certainly have not explored all you can explore with that, because you can even combine those do with all the expansions, just some of them. So there's a lot to dig into here if you like solo games, and especially if you like the look of the universe. I would definitely recommend to check these out.
Are there any you've played and you haven't liked?
There is one, I think Castellion, I was not a big fan of.
Huh.
Sounds good. I always feel like this is higher on your list than it ends up being, so I'm shocked that when you said universe, this was immediately what I thought of. I was like, it's got to be higher than that. So I was wondering what it was, and no, it
I
was
haven't been
this.
playing them. I think I haven't been playing them as much. I think probably in the last 2 years, not as frequently as in those early years to get those top spots.
Yeah. Well, for me, I am sticking with my verb and verb games, but I'm going to the opposite end of the spectrum. And you guys said I tend to like the heavy games, and this is probably the heaviest verb and verb game that we have played. And this one actually spawned a kind of a spin-off game of the Anarchy this year, which I have not played. But this one is Hadrian's Wall, Garfield game,
Woo woo.
almost
So
as many as I had last
low.
year.
Wow.
What's
So
that?
it is dropping.
It did drop a lot, and
Hmm.
yeah, when I was filling out the pub meeple, I was like, I don't know how that got so low. It felt like it has been higher, and it looks like it has been 29 and 45, but it looks like it's been dropping by about 15 spots. So I guess it's a year early, dropping 30 spots here, but maybe it'll get back there. Especially ever end up getting the Anarchy, maybe I'm gonna have to compare the two. But that is probably part of the reason too. If this one's kind of not as hot for me right now, I'm probably like, well, if that's kind of a spiritual successor, probably not looking right away to get into that one unless a lot of people started saying, "Oh my gosh, this is all time. This is all time Garfield game." And I don't know that I've heard that yet. So let me know in the comments below if it is an all timer, the Anarchy. But I love Hadrian's Wall. It is definitely way, way more going on than
Hmm.
silver and gold. Because you got, yeah, two huge sheets there. It's a lot more to keep track of. And this one, like I mentioned earlier, there's sometimes pieces in heavier games that it's like, I don't know that I want to touch it.
Yep.
This one does have the area of like the gladiators, I think, that I don't
Yeah.
usually like to touch. Just kind of one of those things where it's like, I don't fully understand it. I think I have done it a few times, but just one of those things. Like I'm sure if I played it now, hadn't played it in a while, I'd probably like that's too much. I'm gonna focus on these other bits that are a lot of fun. Because yeah, there's a lot of like little combos in this one.
Yeah.
So if you like combos in your games, boom.
Yeah. This is a solid bourbon, right? You're right. It is just so much. So, but it's a good one. And I'm going to cross over with you, not on game, but on publisher or designer, I guess. And that is my 75
Or
inch.
not designer, because this is Bobby Hill.
Okay, not designer, then
You don't
publisher.
know, Zach.
It could be Anarchy. The Anarchy? You have this in the back. You're playing it without me.
It is Ezra and Nehemiah, or Nehemiah, however you say it. That's how I was taught to say it. So, we got this game. It's a new one, so brand new to the list, and I have really enjoyed our playthroughs of this. Like, after Scholars, I was a little leery on Garfield games because Scholars was so heavy. I was like, oh, I don't know what to think of this. I'm scared, but this one is actually really fun. Like, your little people get to go out on the board. You can sacrifice them essentially. You can go out to the wall. Well, you put them in the altar, whatever they're doing there. And then the acolytes, the ones that get
No,
stuck in there.
no.
And then
Yes.
there's like this tent feature. And the way the cards work, it's very viticulture-esque. Or not viticulture, sorry. Viscounts of the West Kingdom-esque. And then instead of so it's hand management, but at the same time, you don't just throw them off and discard them. You kind of like build this set up to kind of strengthen your different flags, which allow you to do different actions. And so, I've really enjoyed our few playthroughs of this. I feel like it gets better every time. The dynamic with like the wall and the cards and the players on the board is such a Garfield staple, I feel like. And, it doesn't do anything like too crazy, but it does a lot of different things. And I think all of them combined really come together to make a decent game. Like, I don't feel like there's one thing in this game that I don't do or that I would be afraid to do. I probably don't go up the little helper track very
One on the
much.
left there.
The one on the left. We
That
don't.
was the one that I was going to say is maybe the
I think at a higher player count, because we've only ever played it at two players, you'd have to utilize that more. But because we only played at two player, I don't really feel like there's a huge rush or push to go up there because it's not usually like you're looking for other ways to do stuff because there are a lot of open actions. But I think at a higher player count, that one would definitely come into play. So yeah, just one I've really been enjoying and kind of a heavier game on my list so far. But is there any about?
Yeah, and for getting pictures for these, I haven't played this. I'm like, that looks important to the game. A little tents, put that in there. Cards, that's gotta mean something.
You pick some good ones, Pepper.
Nice, nice. Still scared to get into new Garfield games for me, so.
this one's heading back to the roots.
Okay, walking it back. Okay. My next one, I don't know. I feel like this has to have been on my list a few years, but it might have fallen off, and I haven't played it for a couple of years. But in Pub Meeple, it wasn't going to be on this with that first list I was making. But with Pub Meeple, putting it up against other games, it just proved to me how just one very clever mechanism can just make you love a game and pick it over others. And that will be the bidding in Furnace. It's the heart of the game. The kind of engine building is really good and really satisfying. Building out an engine, firing it off in order to hopefully get a ton of points. That's very satisfying and rewarding. But the bidding with those discs, where you get the rewards on top of the card, for if you lose the bid, you get the rewards on top of the card that you did not win, equal to or multiplied by the value of your disc. And that's just so clever. It's so cool. It's so rewarding. It's you want to lose more than you want to win most of the time in the game. And if you can do that and get that, just that dynamic there, it's really something special.
Hmm. Good one.
Yeah, this is a really, really solid pick, and yeah, that main mechanism is something when you first read the rules, you're like, what is this saying? How does this bidding work? Because it's not like typical stuff,
No,
but
it's rewarding,
works
and
really
I
well.
like that very much.
Good pick, Pepper. Good pick. Well, my next one, I cannot remember if it made the list last year or not. But I think we've only played it the one time, and that was last year. So
Oh.
it's surprising. I've been wanting to get back to it, and we actually got a physical copy of it now. I just haven't unboxed it yet. It's been one that otherwise I think I would have got back to the table here this last weekend. And it's you're putting together a newspaper, trying to manage that well while speeding through it, trying to do that. And the game is fit to print. And I'll mention another one here because I don't believe it ended up making my list. But my surprise of the year for this year is Drop It, definitely, and that deserves at least being mentioned. But the probably surprise of the year prior is this Fit to Print game because it's just a lot of fun. And I don't know. I mean, it's a simple game. It's one that I wouldn't necessarily think like immediately, like, oh, I'm going to love this. This is going to be a top tier game for me. But just something about you digging into that pile of newspaper clippings and trying to kind of you're putting them onto your desk there before you're putting them out onto your paper, and you just have to kind of determine you're trying to pick up like there's some sad faces, smiley faces, trying to manage those while the different color articles I think mattered and stuff. Just kind of some different things you're managing in your head, kind of because you're doing it in a timed fashion, and then you just at some point kind of say, I'm going to print my paper now. So you got them on that desk, and then you better hope you've got about the right amount, because then you're going to put them over onto your newspaper and hope you can arrange them in a good way to score points. And hopefully not have too many leftover clippings on your board, because I think that's negative points.
Yeah, I think
No.
so.
Something about that's a lot of fun for me.
Right.
Do you not like this one? Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. That's why she won't let me unbox it.
Yeah, I'm the one preventing you. Speaking of games that you haven't unboxed yet, this one I have been waiting for you to unbox so we can get back to it.
This?
My 74 is Marrakesh.
Wow, I was right. I was right.
You were right. We played this at a convention earlier this year, and I just loved it. From the little Keshi Tower and how you collect them, put them in their board, use them to do actions. Like, it was so solid. It just flowed really nice. There's a lot of good things about it, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm very much looking forward to you getting it actually unboxed and us playing it again, because I think it could have been higher if we had played it again, but because we hadn't, I was like, no, it was good. It was good. So it's got to be on the list, and one I'm very excited to play again.
Yeah, that is the other one that's on my top priority list to unbox.
Okay.
I actually thought I had already previously unboxed it, and then I always look at it, I'm like, wait a minute, that one's still sealed. I swear I unboxed that one. It's resealing itself.
This man
What
has
is this Stefan Feld magic?
no organization skill.
Work magic. Is that a worker placement game at all?
Not
really.
really. Action selection.
No.
So those Keshis there, you see there are all those different colors, Pepper. They all kind of represent a different action. Stefan Feld style, where you're
Okay.
as you get more and more, I think it becomes more powerful and stuff.
Yep.
So you're drafting those throughout the game and adding them to your player board that has a section for all the different ones.
Okay. I didn't really care. I just wanted to say, speaking of worker placement games, I love a unique take on worker placement.
Remember, you would love Marrakesh.
I probably would. but not as much as I love my 73. I wonder what has this been on? It did drop off my list last year, and that is Outlive. I don't know if I played this more than like twice in my life, but it is a game that the power of Pub Meeple brought this one up out of the ashes. And I'm like, I just really want to play this game. The worker placement is valued workers. So I love that. Valued like 2 through 5, 1 through 5, something like that. So that affects the power of your actions that you're taking. But it's also worker movement. So once they're on this, it's kind of like a circle of actions on this apocalyptic board. You can go, I think, clockwise, like 1 to 2 spaces with each of your workers throughout the round, and then you take the action and tip them over so that they have been used. And I'm like, that's two unique little bits thrown into regular worker placement, which I really love. And then the kind of base bunker management here, as you get custom tiles to throw in there to hold more people, to produce more things. And feed your people, which I usually don't like to do in games, but I actually enjoy the mechanisms in this one. I really need to get back and play this game because it's got a really good production as well.
Yeah, I think I remember that being the piece for me that didn't. The feed your people piece is kind of the I don't know that part. I liked everything else in the game, and that just like kind of some of the Uwe Rosenberg games. It's just kind of one of those things that I'm like, don't love this part. It's a little bit grindier than the rest of it. It always felt like to me, but otherwise, a solid pick. I always love when they have valued workers. It's always a fun little thing. My number 73, I have played more than 2 times. It is probably one of my most played games, if you're counting Board Game Arena plays. And it depends how you would define a play. If it's 3 games of this or one. Because then it could be 3 times as much potentially. Because they are very fast games, very fast. I don't know if this one was on my list last year or the year before or ever, but it really should be because it's one that I do love. And this one is one that I played with my coworker at lunch. It's a fast game. We got Lost Cities. It's a 2-player only game.
Oh boy.
Wow, this one has not been on the list before. Wow. And I have, depending on how you count it, probably 100 to 300 plays of it. So that it's not fair to this game to have not been on the list. So I'm glad that I'm finally getting it on there. It's just a fun game. It's like I said, it's short, which kind of helps. I think it'd be a frustrating game if it was a long game because you're managing this hand of cards and you're trying to play them in your own tableau in a certain order, and you also don't want to give your opponent certain cards. So there's that hand management. It can sometimes get to be a really tight hand, and sometimes you're just not getting good cards. And that's the part that I think would be frustrating if it was a really long game. Is sometimes seems like things are just flowing. You're like, oh, yep, that's the card I need. Bam, put that down, and then you draw off. Oh, there's the next one. Bam, and it just seems like it's simple. And then other times you're drawing, you're like, damn, I gotta play this 10. I have nothing to do. I can't give it to them. So yeah, it creates those moments. So this one deserved to have been on my list earlier than 2025 because I've definitely played it all these years. And yeah, this one, believe it or not, was one of our test, probably the first test video we did for Not Your Average Tabletop originally, way back when. I don't even know if we do have content on this one, but fun fact.
Yeah.
Very fun. I feel like we played this one on BGA recently, and I was like, I will never play it physically again. Like, I have to play it on BGA.
What? Wow.
Because it does all the math for you. It's so good. I know
Sure, it does
exactly where I'm at. I know what to play. Like, it's perfect.
That is the hardest part to teach.
Perfect on BGA. It's
If
perfect.
you're ever teaching it to someone, that is the hardest part, is the scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy. So, all right. Well, my number 73 is another new to us game this year. We played it, I think all of
Call to the new.
1 or 2 times, and I have loved it. And that is The Gang. Gang, gang. So we brought this out for
I mean, like Western thing.
This is not Western.
Poker's the most Western thing ever. What is poker if not Western?
I don't think it's like a Western poker.
I know it's not Western thing, but poker in general is
Oh.
typically something associated.
All
The
right.
old West.
Okay. Well, anyway, this game has been one we played a couple of times now, and I've really enjoyed it's cooperative, kind of like the crew-ish, I would say, where you're working to like score like, to get your hands in order of like strongest to weakest kind of a thing, and working together. What's so funny?
Sorry, I see that hand there of the King and Queen of Hearts, and it makes me think of Eli.
Oh.
And I'm imagining him seeing the flop of an Ace of Hearts, Jack of Hearts, and a Ten of Hearts, meaning he's got a royal flush, and he's like, hmm,
No,
do I take one of the low chips?
yeah, you gotta learn, you gotta know
I
poker.
gotta know.
I certainly
It
learned
just made me
poker a
laugh.
little bit better thanks to this game, or at least poker hands. But I think it's unique in that it uses an element that usually pushes you against each other into like a cooperative version. It's quick. We had a lot of fun with it the times we played, and yeah, I look forward to playing this one more. I'm always into like a decent, like a good party game that doesn't just have like the flicker of the moment and then kind of fades out as you go. And I think the game will be one that will stick around. So,
Yeah, I'm glad you have this on your list. I think it missed mine barely, but I'm glad you've liked it because I was like, I know Michaela doesn't love or hasn't ever played poker, isn't really that interested in the Texas Hold'em, but I really love Texas Hold'em. I've heard a lot of good things about this game. Hopefully, I can at least play it once and then at least say I played it. But
Yeah.
luckily, I think, yeah, seemed like people liked it, even though only one of them had actually played Texas Hold'em before. So,
Cool. I will have to try it out. Is that on Board Game Arena?
no,
Dang
I don't believe so.
I
Dang
think you
it.
need at least three players.
You need three players. That was the one other caveat that I'm like, that's going to make it even harder.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you liked it. Loved it even.
Okay. My next one might be new to my list as well. I've always respected it. I've always liked it. If I had no interest in it, I don't think I would have pulled the trigger on getting it for Zach. But I watched the playthrough and really dug Pret-a-Porter. And yeah, first time finally on the list. This is a heavy, crunchy, run your business game, but the mechanisms, the flow of the round makes it so easy. Like, you don't know, I get terrified of these big crunchy games. If Zach's like, oh, this is amazing, we're running a business, I'll be like, nah, I'm out. You play it 20 times, master it so you can teach me easily. This one, it just runs you through a round so easily. It looks amazing with the spools, not those actual spools and thimble in that picture, but little wooden ones, at least in our edition. Everything looks amazing, the artwork and the components. And it's just a really fun thing with a lot of points. You score points, and at the end of the game, you see the amount, the hundreds of points that you have, and you're like, I must have counted wrong somewhere. There is no way that I scored this many points, but then everyone else has the same amount of points or near the same. It's probably a big difference if you're scoring in the hundreds and hundreds, but it's just like somehow you rack up a lot of points in this one, and that one is always fun. Wish I got to play it more, but it's hard to get to play, as you can tell from some reactions here. One person does not love this
You
game.
know what? You and Zach can play this game together. Great. I love it. Have fun. I do not need to be involved.
I'm glad you have this pepper on here because I finally let it go this year of playing it, having it on my top 80 because
What are you
I
looking
just like
for?
I just like I didn't know that Pepper even liked it that much. I was just
I
like
played it.
I was just like probably put this on the sell list even though I love it. It's a great business simulation game. I 100% agree with you, Pepper, but I don't believe it made my list this year.
I don't know if it's ever made your list. I don't know what you're talking about.
It hasn't?
I don't know. Oh, yes, it did. It did. Back in 2022, it was your number 40. Oh
Wow.
boy.
Here I thought it was on my list last year. Now I don't feel so bad.
Maybe it was. I did not see it though.
You didn't see it at the number one position 3 years straight?
Oh my.
Well, my number 72, I did first play on Board Game Arena, and then I played the physical version, and I think it's one of the productions of the year last year, and that is River of Gold. And I always, when I think of this one, I always remember back to the one year we went to Gen Con a couple years ago now, and I saw the board and the box for this one on display. I'm like, ooh, what is this beautiful thing? And they didn't actually have it for sale at that point, and I was like, we'll see. We'll see what this, because it was, I think, at the company that does the Legend of the Five Rings or whatever the world this is. And I was like, I think that was like a trading game or something. So I was like, I don't know if this will actually be a great game or not, but yeah, I've had a lot of fun with this one. This one's another very satisfying one where you're going down this river using these dice, which I think the mitigation on those, and sometimes you're just not rolling what you need, which I think it's just one die actually, right? I think it's one die, right, Pepper?
think it's not many. It's
Yeah, it's
one or
just one.
two.
It's just the one. Yeah.
Been a little bit since I played it, but yeah, it's just the one. So sometimes you might just not be getting good rolls, and that's unfortunate. But I think what you're doing in the game, going down that Golden River, which is really awesome. I love the board on this one. You can kind of build these little building places, and even if they're not built there, wherever you land on the river, you're gaining all the rewards from those spots. And if you do own one of those buildings and someone else goes on there, I think even if you go on there, you get those benefits as well. Just a very rewarding game. Pretty simple, I would say, on the more simple side, medium to maybe going a little light, but probably right around the medium range for games.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think this one's a lot of fun.
No. I'm surprised it's not higher for you, but
I think it's because I haven't played it as much. I think if I'd have got a few more plays in, it'd probably have gone up.
no.
Nice. Uh,
Nice.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Nice, I guess.
Neat.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Wow.
All right, my 72 is also new to the list. It is kind of like another game that's been sitting on my list for quite a long time, but this one kind of adds a new fun element to that. And that is Alpine Trails. We played this one quite a bit when we first got it. And one of the games, spoiler alert, that I really like is Karuba, where you're kind of drawing tiles.
Has this replaced Karuba?
I wouldn't say I'd go that far, but I would say maybe.
Oh, and the game to the sell list.
Wow,
Yeah, she's replaced Kingdomino and Karuba this video.
that's rough. Okay. So in this one, it's kind of you're
Westerny.
it's not westerny, but you're pulling out tiles and trying to make pathways out into these different wilderness areas, I guess you would call them. There's not really a whole lot to it. Your points are primarily going to be like the area that you build, that's the same terrain type, and then like the types of roads that you get to. There's some other scorings like waterfalls and campsites and stuff that kind of add into it. But the bag draw element of this, I think, is just really kind of fun to try and make the best like area, campsite, whatever this is going to be out of what you get. And
Would you say Carcassonne is fun?
no.
Huh.
This is it's your very own. Like we're not building one together. I'm not going against you. This is
That's fair.
very own. So Alpine Trails.
I gotta try it. I love most of their games. I think last night, so many good ones.
I would say the biggest crime are they made these amazing wooden animals, and the use of them is
Nothing.
very limited,
Yeah.
if any.
Wow.
They just go out on the board.
Probably the biggest
Ah.
disappointment I'm going to say. Just going to say it.
Would you rather not have
They're
them at all?
amazing looking.
Would you rather not have them at all?
I'd rather have them. I'd rather have them in the
There
game.
you go. Good job.
Wish they were
Good
used a
choice.
bit more.
Yes, that's true. What about that? What is the one with like the evolution game or whatever with that giant like Brontosaurus meeple?
It is evolution.
Is that oh good pat on the back? Is that used in that game?
That's the first player
Okay,
marker.
first player marker. Okay,
I
so
don't
it's
think
not.
does it even move? I don't know that it even moves.
I
Maybe it does. I don't remember.
Bleached that game from my brain.
That was in the board game tournament last year as well, and she absolutely loved it.
Check out my BGG rating.
She loved that game. Oof, that was her favorite.
Yeah. We gotta do a list of best meeples. Gotta do that
A
sometime.
hard one.
My next one, I was just going to say the name of the game instead of any actual sentence, so I guess I'll just do that. Notre Dame! It's my
Going back to Stefan Feld.
71. Yeah,
Your
Feld.
last one of this 10, Pepper.
My last one of this 10. And this one, oh, it did sneak on the list last year, but I think this is one that has definitely grown for us. Not that we played it a lot, but just, I think it was one maybe we considered, we could call that game possibly. But then we go back, play it once, and it was like, that was actually pretty fun, pretty cool mechanisms, and pretty quick as well. I think that was the big part, is that it plays in a very short time, especially if you are just a lower player count. And the mechanisms in this one are very straightforward, very simple. You have a bunch of options, but it's limited by the three cards that you have to choose from on a turn. And you kind of each player has a set of different types of actions that are on their board. You draw three, take one, pass them on. So then you are handing your action cards to other players. So it is possible to double up, get the same action, activate it multiple times in the same round, which I think is really cool and really fun to do because when you activate an action, you put a cube on it. When you activate it the next time, you put another cube on it, and then it activates two times each time you do it, and then three times, four times the power as it goes on. And that is just such a fun mechanism, Architects of the West Kingdom mechanism, as it is known to me. And other player cards or cards that you can buy in the game that can be very powerful and very cool. A lot of stuff going on, but very approachable.
Yeah, this is a great pick, and I think there's similarities to Marrakesh in this one. So, yeah, I like both of those, but I would say this one maybe is the cleaner version of it, quicker version. But both really good Stefan Feld designs.
Hear that, Mac? I win.
Even, even though this one looks much older.
Woofda.
My number 71, I believe, is new to the list. I don't know if it's been on anyone's list in the past, even though I think you might have played it before, Pepper, and we'll see if it ended up making your list this year. I wasn't sure if it would or not. But this one is one where you're building out a tableau. We played in Florida. You did not play it, but I do have a copy of it, so we will get to play it. I think you might like it. And that is Bosa. And I think this one's like only available at Barnes and Noble. It's the only place I've ever seen it. So get your copy while you can, because I think the company that made it might not even be in business or anything anymore, which is unfortunate. But this is a really fun tableau building game where you can see in that middle picture there, you are putting out these cards, and you got to do it from kind of top to bottom, left to right, and you want to meet some sort of conditions with the patterns, and as you're adding these cards, you are triggering the rows and or columns with the actions on them, which you can see there's those three resource types that you're getting there on those tracks on the right picture there. And you're kind of managing those and then trying to get points and coins, and then I think every end of the round you're converting coins into points, more points, Pepper.
Yep.
Is that how it goes? But yeah, it's a fun little tableau game. You sometimes are praying that you can get the color card you want towards the end, because yeah, you have to do it in that certain order. So like that final corner has to be the last card you place. So you have to have that right one that you want sometimes. And just a kind of a fun little thing right down to the end. Doesn't feel like, I've got that already under control. I don't really care what I get. It just kind of keeps you engaged to the very end. And yeah, really like this one.
Yeah. Pub Meeple
Gem.
What was that? Oh, hidden gem for sure. Pub Meeple giveth, Pub Meeple taketh away. This one just barely missed out. It was going to be on my list when I was making it. I'm like, oh, I got to shout that one out. And then Pub Meeple, I think it was like 81, 82, something like that. And I'm like, no, I really want to talk about it. But
I was going to ask you what your 81 was.
Thankfully, you did for me.
There you go. All right, another one that I got to get to the table, I guess. You guys both like it so much, but we'll see. All right, my 71, and I think the last game of this video.
Yeah, bring us
Make
home.
it good.
I'll try. This one is actually a game for once from my list last year, not a
This one is a
brand new
game, people. Listen up. Finally getting into the games.
Yes. This is my 71 is Stone Spine Architects. I had to really make sure I said it right because I always want to say the Aberdell.
Don't Spire.
Yep. Just a mess always. So this is 66 last year, so that's where it debuted at. It was new to us last year. And this one's a really unique drafting game, where you're kind of putting together some different cards in order.
Another tableau builder.
Another tableau builder. You're putting it together.
You know, it's the same thing.
To essentially, like, it's like a maze, though. Like, you're trying to, like, build it from start to end while connecting as many as you can, and then also getting, like, different points for certain things, whether that be monsters or traps or whatever. So this one's been really fun. We've played it a decent amount, I think, since we've gotten it. It's a little wild on theme, but other than that, it's good start to finish. There's not really a whole lot I would change about it. I don't always love some of the scoring on this, but I think in the playthroughs that we've done, it's been really fun. Always somewhat rewarding with your coins and stuff, and really a quick and easy one to get to the table. So.
There's so many of these great ones like this. This is really why I really want to do Card Sharks too for our tournaments, because I want to get like games like this in, Tir Nog, probably Bosa.
And we have Hort Gully.
We've got Hort Gully to go with it. So yeah, this is another solid pick. I think, Pepper, you played this one on Board Game Arena?
I did.
Thumbs up,
I did.
thumbs down.
I'd give it a thumbs up. Solid game.
Okay. Wow, that's where Hort Gully. Oh no, that's Hort Gully right there. That's what it is. It's not a horse at all.
What? No. Shh. You didn't say that, Hort Gully.
But yeah, if you made it this far, we really appreciate it. You can give us a like if you like, the thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe for our future ones. They should be coming out in the full month of August on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe. So you have to wait a month to see our top 10 of all time. But yeah, leave your comments below. But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.